Welcome to Thunderhill Raceway in Willows, California. Today we're here for the round 2 of the Nitto Tires United States Touring Car Championship. We'll send you down to Rebecca and Jeff to tell you all the little details.
Welcome to round number 2.
And round number 3.
That's right. Doubleheader today, this weekend at the 2011 Nitto Tire United States Touring Car Championship. We're here at Thunderhill in Willows, California. Windmills behind me, clouds in the sky. It's a beautiful day. We're here Saturday morning as we start looking at some of the storylines we have here for round number 2.
Absolutely. And round number 3.
Of the Nitto Tire United States Touring Car Championship.
Right.
So how about the round number 1? We got to kind of recap what we have there.
Okay, round number 1, we had a brand new finisher. We had Brandon Kraus.
Brand new, first time in the race, first time series, first place. So a lot of firsts for him.
That's true. He had car difficulties in qualifying, warm-up qualifying, sorted it all out, and was able to get that podium finish. So
got that
kudos
first
to
place,
Brandon
top
for
step
sure.
of the podium. That was the MBO Motorsports crew, Pete Bovenberg, who finished second.
Right.
Helped the leader that won the race get his car ready. That's what United States Touring Car is all about.
Absolutely.
Remember, the biggest news about last year, or this year, was the last race was the whole World Touring Car Championship being mixed in with the United States Touring Car, and that was a huge deal with the U.S. Touring Car getting a test into a World Touring Car at the end of the year.
So our champion from this season will get a test in one of the WTCC cars.
Absolute
teams.
Great car there.
Amazing. So, and as Brandon said very well at the end of the last race, is that the camaraderie of the different teams and the drivers in the pits is great, and racing out there, although very competitive and bumper to bumper, still great series.
By far, he said there was no way I could have made it here if it wasn't for the other crew. So the other crew made it happen for him, and that was great. And,
That's right. And Pete Bovenberg, who was our 2010 season champion, stepped right up and loaned his crew over to Brandon.
Exactly, so that's really great there, And then,
excellent.
Of course, Ron Valtierra is going to be driving Felipe Cabeza's Mazda Speed 3, the team there from T&I Racing.
They really pulled that out. They had some car issues.
Brand new car. They worked 2 weeks on it to get it built overnight, 3 o'clock in the morning, 20-hour days. They got the car ready. They came out here and got third place, a podium finish for them.
Beautiful.
Ron's going to step into the car now. We'll see if Ron can step up and get that, match what Felipe did this time.
Nice situation.
Dave Brown's again back in the, what kind of car is it?
Dave Brown is here in his Mitsubishi.
She's been practicing, folks. She couldn't make Mitsubishi last race. She got it this time. She made it work.
Thanks. All right. Well, that'll be the last time we talk about that. But yeah, Dave Brown again, returning champion. He was our champion in
05 and 06.
05 and 06.
05 and 06, two-time champion straight in a row. And he's back with Mitsubishi again. He was in the Lancer Evo. He's in the Lancer Rally Art this year. Going to be a little bit different setup. They're a brand new car. They just got that car built. A lot of teething problems the first race. Blew out the center diff in the first race. Overheated it. They got that fixed. They got all the cooling on their car. That's going to be great for that car.
Right. So we're going to see what he's doing now at round 2 and
round 3. Got to get that right. And you can never count out Curt Simmons, 2009 season champion. That Dodge SRT4, my old car, you gotta love it. That car is quick, that's for sure.
That's right.
Not
Keeps
gonna lie
coming
about
back.
that.
Very, very dependable, steady driver, and he's
gotta get the car dependable is the problem. He actually broke last race as well. So we'll get that. Larry Banny and the GoGoGear.com team with that Ali Arsham as well with that brand new Hyundai Genesis.
Really, yeah.
Those 2 cars and the bright yellow cars. You see those on every section of the race.
That's right.
So a lot of storylines developed. We got first round of qualifying today for Saturday's race. We got another qualifying session tomorrow for Sunday's race. So unfortunately, we're not going to have the combined qualifyings like we normally have in U.S. Touring Car. It's still going to be separate qualifying sessions each day for the races each day. So we'll
bigger challenge for our drivers who are really used to a 2-day event with warm-up qualifying, all primed and ready for that one event. Now they need to get in a little bit of a maintenance mode today.
Yeah, if there's not going to be any mechanical problems, any issues at all,
that's right.
You could possibly miss a race and miss another race on the whole weekend. So they're going to have to really keep your car together on Saturday and then have no problems on Sunday, hopefully.
And then to add to that, today is our 1-hour race. Tomorrow we're looking at
just a half-hour sprint race. So endurance race is first, half-an-hour sprint race is second.
So this could unfold to be a very interesting day.
I can't wait till after qualifying. I can't wait.
That's right.
Well, great. Well, we'll see you guys after qualifying. Thank you so much for tuning in to the 2011 Nitto Tire United States Touring Car Championship.
Thanks.
Well, Rebecca's out there at pre-grid talking to some of the drivers, getting their opinions right before the race as they're getting belted up and helmets on and getting ready to go out. See all the cars are lined up. And let's see how these guys are doing down there and what they think.
So Brandon, you're on pole today. Tell me what your strategy is.
Well, the Roger Kraus Racing DW pumps, Black Tracks Honda Prelude's running pretty good today. Glad we had the pole. It's an hour race, so we're playing it smart. We're going to set a pace and then charge hard at the end and see what these guys got. I got Pete Bovenberg right next to me and Kurt right behind him. So They got fast cars. It's going to be an awesome show, so I can't wait. And these Nitto tires are working great today. So the weather's held out. There's no rain. We got dry track. It's going to be a great race, so I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. Good luck, Brandon.
Well, I'm going to try to get a good, clean start and see if we can't pass a few people before we get to turn 1. And then take a conservative approach, last an hour long, and see who's standing at the end.
Cool. Have a good race.
It's a long race. We got about an hour. Well, we're going to go and stay close to the front, and then at the last 15 or so, we're going to start putting the pedal to the metal.
All right, have a good race.
Well, we're going to try to push as hard as we can. The CNR radiator we got is working wonders, so we'll see how it goes. But, you know, it's a long race, and anything can happen.
Yeah, we're just getting the car sorted out again after being off for a year or so, rebuilding the motor and stuff. So just going to feel it out at the back and see what happens with the guys up front and work my way up.
Just stay clean and safe on the track. There's going to be a lot of cars. We're starting out first. But as the track goes on, there's people in and out of the pits. There's a lot of cars at different paces. So you got to play it smart when the race is this long and there's this many cars. You can get in trouble and mix it up with somebody, and you want to try and avoid that.
I think we'll just sit here and watch these two guys go at it for a little while, and hopefully they burn their tires off, and I'll have something left for them at the end.
All right, get the launch and don't look back.
All right.
Just keep it cool, sunny side up.
All right, have a good race. Good luck.
Well, it looks like our cars are going out for round 2 of the Nitto Tire United States Touring Car Championship.
Well, green flag's out, and it's Pete Bovenberg versus Brandon Kraus in the DW Pumps Roger Kraus Racing Honda Prelude.
That's right. Brandon Kraus took the pole on this race.
Brandon Kraus took the pole this race. Pete took the pole last race. Looks like as those two guys are at it again this year.
That's true, and it looks like Pete got... Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, Larry Banning's off in the BMW, and the Go-Go Gear BMW is off. He's lucky to save that car. And here
Good
comes
save
Ali
right
Arsham in the Hyundai Genesis coupe. That is his teammate. The better that those guys don't hit each other, otherwise they'll both be in trouble.
Well, here we are in the first lap. Brandon took the pole, but it looks like Pete got him at turn 1. So Pete's got the lead of the race right now.
Pete has had that car running pretty good all day long, but you know what? At the last second, Brandon came and snatched the pole away with a super fast time. But
it is Brandon's first pole of this year.
It is, and
season.
he, you know, what you can say that maybe you should have won. Pete was strong last time too, but Brandon ended up winning the last race, while Pete had the thing. So both of these guys are super quick.
Absolutely have a chance. And if you remember, Pete's our reigning champion from the 2010 series. So
yeah, so you know, it's one of those things. Who's got the faster car? You know, and they both seem to be really equal. But right now, it's Pete that seems to be in charge, and he's just going for it. But a little bit further back, we see the field starting to spread out, and there's a lot of other cars back there. Another fast guy is the Mazda speed of the Valtierra Cabezas team. Those guys have been getting that car pretty fast, and now they are chasing the Hyundai Genesis of Arsham through the field. And those guys have been getting that Mazda up to speed very quickly.
Absolutely. And not only the Mazda, you know, we've talked in previous shows, we've got a lot of new cars in this season. The Hyundai Genesis is one of them. Looks like it's doing well in this race.
Yes, they're getting faster and faster, but you know what? They still have a ways to go until they can keep up with Brandon and Pete. These guys seem to be on a different league altogether.
That's true.
But you know what? That's why these guys have been running these cars and have been setting up these cars for a long time now, so they know what they're doing.
That's absolutely true. So car development is key to this series.
Well, to any series, really. You know, you need to have your car dialed in. These guys obviously didn't have the car dialed in. But you know, it takes time.
Right, and a race is a race, and just about anything can happen.
Another example is Dave Brown, also another new car. Dave Brown, if you just saw his car go by, then that Mitsubishi Lancer Rally Yard. He is looking really good. That car should do really well. He's sponsored by Hawk Bridgeworks and Bridgelux, and that Lancer is super strong. But you know what? He's also getting faster and faster each time. They broke down last race, and they had some issues, but they fixed it all up, and now they come back, and they're doing pretty well.
Sure. And another one in the series today is in round 1, Curt Simmons. Right?
Well, Kurt's been super fast all along, but you know what? He's had some bad luck along the way. I think he also had had some issues at the last race and he finished 8th in the last race. But you know,
right, he was actually second on the starting position last race, finished 8th. So we're going to see how he does this race also.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things, and here's our little battle between our GT cars. This is Kurtz in-car camera and the Pontiac Trans Am, and he's using the V8 horsepower to muscle his way. Must be fun to drive that car.
I'll bet it is.
He's cranking some serious horsepower in that thing. But these little 4-cylinders probably, you can see him coming from a mile away. But looks like we have a pretty good battle on our hand here up front.
Oh, would you look at this? We've got Brandon Kraus, who's taken the lead from Pete Bovenberg.
Wow, Brandon made the pass. He's going for it. And Dave Brown's looking pretty racy there, too, and he's doing pretty good. Wow, what did
I don't know.
We missed the pass there by Brandon Kraus there. But, you know, the rest of the field is doing pretty good, and even the Mini is going pretty good. Vince Parker in the Mini Mania, the Mini USA, Mini Cooper S. He's doing well, so he was one. He's a great story because he was one where he was totally hooked and he was doing really well a few years ago, and then he had to give it up for many reasons. But now he's kind of coming back and he's getting a little taste for U.S. touring car racing, and we hope to have him back all year long. So
absolutely, and we'll be watching Vince and his progress of the series. So.
No, actually, it looks like now Pete's up front. So dope.
Well, this explains a little bit of the exchange
Pete,
from...
No, Pete, what happened to this motor? Now Brandon's just in the lead all by himself, and here comes the checkered flag. Well, great job to Brandon, and we'll see how it goes at the next round tomorrow.
I'm standing here with Dave Brown, third place finisher of our second round of the United States Touring Car Championship. Dave, tell me about your race.
I finished. I'm so happy. It's a new car, so we're debugging just every weekend. And the first race of the season, we had a failure a few laps into the race, and that was very discouraging. But we found the assignable cause. We went and we fixed it as usual, and we finished today, so that was good. And we finished on the podium, so very excited about that. Hawk signed back up with us this year, and we're really excited to continue to work with them as a development team, a development driver, working with them and their fantastic products. Bridgelux is working with us as well. They're a great new LED light company that we're really excited about, and I work there, by the way. And yeah, life's good racing. We have a good time. Obviously, life's good if you're out here having fun racing. So.
That's right, life is good. So congratulations on your third place finish.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
So qualifying third in our second round of the United States Touring Car Championship, second round here, and you qualified third position and finished second. Tell me about your race.
Well, we had a really good race. The car was fast. Pete and Brandon were out front, and I just let them go. I stayed back 10 car lengths and watched them battle. And just saved the car because I knew it comes down to the end of the race, it's got to be in one piece. And we went a lot over 2 seconds faster during the race than we did in qualifying. We did a change set up on the car, and it really worked. Just really happy with the way the whole thing. I think we're losing an axle or something. Something was binding up. So we backed off and just went in enduro mode for the middle half of the race. And then it's showtime at the last 10 minutes, and we almost won that one. I think we lost by .001 of a second or something like that.
Which is exactly what Brandon said. But honestly, you know, enduro mode worked for you, and pulling it out in second place is a great finish.
Well, it's just consistency, just staying out there and trying not to beat up your equipment, which was a little tough today with some of the other cars that were on the track. But yeah, brought it home in one piece, and we're ready for tomorrow.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to seeing where you qualify tomorrow and also place. Congratulations for today.
Thanks a lot.
I am standing here once again with Brandon Kraus, another first place finish, first place on the Nitto Tire United States Touring Car Championship. Brandon, tell me about your race.
Well, the Roger Kraus Racing DW Pumps Black Tracks Honda Prelude ran really well today. At the end there, we had Curt Simmons catch us, and we won by 1/10 of a second. It was one heck of a show out there. The Nitto tires held up. You know, it's just it's fun racing with these guys. Everybody's going faster and faster, and you know, it was a great time out there. Me and Pete Bovenberg were out there battling, and I was in second for about 20 minutes of the race, and he left the door open in 14, and we got underneath him and started pulling on him, and then here comes Kurt in his Dodge. So he started pulling, and we barely pulled this one off again. So I really had a good time out there.
Excellent. Well, exciting racing. An hour-long race also, so there's a lot of time to switch positions and have a good competition event.
Yeah, you know, the competition's getting tighter and tighter. This is a good series to run in. You know, I'm just happy to be standing up here right now. I mean, like I said, it was a close race at the finish. I didn't even know if we won it yet. But, again, the Roger Kraus Racing DW Pumps Honda Prelude ran really well today, and we're really proud of the drive we had today. So.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on your first place.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, well, that just about does it for our second round of the Nitto Tire United States Touring Car Championship. Great race today. A lot of strategy for our teams coming up. We've got another race scheduled for tomorrow, so we're going to see what happens. But for today, this is it. Thanks for joining us. Wow, round two.
Right, how
Talk
about
about
race?
today.
Yeah. Not round three, though.
No, not round three
this
yet.
time. Not this time.
Yeah, but talk about an eventful day.
Hey, we had a very eventful day. We talked a little bit about it before in the morning about making your car last. We had the hour-long race today. We have a half-an-hour race tomorrow. So unfortunately, we had some problems. We had some issues. We had some guys that always have problems and issues. Didn't have problems and issues.
Right, so
and there it was. So we got to talk about the podium. So let's talk about the podium. What do you think?
Podium, absolutely. Fabulous pull through again with Brandon Kraus finishing first place in the second round of the Nitto Tire United States Touring Car Championship. And that's a story.
That's right. Brandon Kraus in the Honda Prelude, the Roger Kraus Racing DW Pumps Black Tracks Performance Prelude, finishing first place again. It's two in a row. Two in a row by 0.113 seconds.
Amazing.
So that's 11/100ths of a second.
Right in front of Curt Simmons, who, according to his strategy, get into enduro mode and just kind of be patient and plug along there, and he pulled out a second place. So
yeah, unfortunately, Kurt, round number one, had a mechanical failure. Kept the car underneath him this time, able to pull up that second place in the podium. Not quite couldn't run down Brandon, but that was another story. We'll talk about what happened with Brandon a little bit earlier, but you know, Brandon actually had an unfortunate pit stop, had to make a pit stop in U.S. Touring Car. When you make a pit stop, usually you're done because we have a 30-minute sprint race. You're pretty much you're finished.
Right. But at the time he did that pit stop, he wasn't running.
He was in second place when he pitted. Pete Bovenberg, the NBO Motorsports Honda Civic, was first place. You might say, what happened to Pete? Yeah. We were talking earlier about mechanical problems, mechanical failures. Sure enough, Pete's leading by 20 seconds after Brandon made a pit stop, has a major motor failure, blew the motor up, rod to the block. You know, motors are built with a certain amount of smoke in them, and you're not supposed to let that smoke out.
It's like the genie in the bottle, right?
Pete did. So the motor's out of that. That allowed Brandon to catch back up. He was able to battle with Curt Simmons. They had an epic battle till the end, only winning by 1/10 of a second. So a little over 1/10 of a second to take Brandon Kraus take his second straight rings. And speaking of keeping stuff together, we talked earlier about Dave Brown's center diff overheating. They got those problems fixed. Guess who's third place in that podium in that Life's Good Racing San Rafael Mitsubishi Lancer Rally R. Third place for him. So
third place, first time on the podium this season. So welcome to the podium there, Dave.
For Dave to do that. So it was really great for all that. And our top rookie, Larry Banney, and the GoGoGear.com, taking home those wear tools. That was awesome for Larry. It's great to see the rookie out here. He finished 5th place. So good job for Larry. Can't believe that.
For Larry, yeah. Now in the Genesis, the
Hyundai Genesis,
Ali had still some overheating problems.
Still, they can't get that car to overheat, and apparently with as much power that the car has, as heavy as it is, and mind you, this is a brand new car. Only 2 races they've had in this car. So, but I saw up at the shop earlier, there's a brand new big aluminum radiator sitting up there, and I know those UTI guys are just dying to put it in. I got a great crew from UTI on that GoBeer.com.
That is absolutely right. We're going to have to see. That's a brand new radiator without any mounting brackets.
We'll have to see if they can make that work. So we'll see. UTI guys can do it. Those are school guys. They can make it happen. That's for sure.
That's right. Great crew.
That was a great round 2. So we would say we'll see you next race.
Which
at
is
round
true.
number 3.
We're gonna
we
see
can
it
still
next
say that, but it's only going to be like 2 minutes away.
So interesting also, just to kind of tie that up a little bit, if it were a 1-race weekend, Pete would pull that car on the trailer and he'd take it home and work on it until the next event. Well, he's got less than 24 hours to get that car back together and back out on the track.
Yeah, we're about a half an hour past the race right now, and they had the front end off the car already. There was a little bit of an oil fire. They had all the wiring pulled off already. If anybody can do it, the MDO Motorsports crew, we talked about Brandon Kraus last race helping them out. If anybody can do it, that crew can do it. And they're starting to. They'll have that motor out in less than 20 minutes from now.
Right. So
get the motor in all night. We'll have to keep that story going and see what's going to happen.
See what happens, see if Pete gets out there on the track. So until tomorrow.
Yep. Well, definitely stick around. We have a brand new segment here on Final Drive TV with the 2011 Nitto Tire United States Touring Car Championship. We're going to do a driver profile. We're going to profile a driver each weekend. First driver is going to be Kurtz in our brand new US Touring Car GT class series, driving the TPIS Yokohama tire, Blaine Fabrication Pontiac Firebird. So we'll have to see how that whole segment's going to work out, but look for that to be a really popular segment with these drivers out here. You know, drivers got big heads like myself. You know, all we can do is talk about ourselves. Yeah. So that's hopefully it's going to be a really good segment for us, and we'll tune in now for round number 3 of the Nitto Tire United States Touring Car Championship.
Here at Thunderhill
tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
My name is Ken Kurtz, US Touring Car GT race car driver. Before I actually ever started driving cars, it was Matchbox cars and the Indy 500, as a matter of fact. My parents had carpet that you could mat down, and I would drive my cars and make a little racetrack and watch on the TV the race at the same time. I loved watching Ayrton Senna, Michael Schumacher, Jack Villeneuve, R.A. Lyondike, and Mario Andretti. I grew up on Mario. The deceased Dale Earnhardt to Cale Yarborough and some of the other classic drivers. I grew up watching their battles. Richard Petty, of course. What I learned from them is to have fun. Enjoy it. If you're not enjoying it, you're doing something wrong. I have this motto, it's 4 wheels and an engine, I'm happy. I love getting out on track. I love the competition. I have fun. Sure, winning is what I strive for, but if I come in second and I had a hell of a race, that's what I'm after. It's that fun, passionate kind of approach to racing that I take that keeps me coming back. I've been racing for about 25 years. Started out in go-karting, worked my way all the way up to prototypes, and now I'm doing NASA's race series here. Drive the number 2 Pontiac Trans Am in the US Touring Car GT class. 422 cubic inch race engine built by TPIS, making in excess of 700 horsepower. Pretty close in torque. TPIS, my engine builder, they built the 422 cubic inch LS3 race motor that's under the hood of my car. It provides the motivation and, if you will, to pass everybody, and a big smile on my face as I hit the throttle. You can't see it through the helmet, but I'm smiling ear to ear as the sound of that motor is just amazing, and the power the car makes. You can't help but enjoy it. And then when you're just pushing the car in the corners and the tires just keep giving you more and more grip, it's reassuring. Yokohama tire, the A005 racing slick that I use is just phenomenal. The wear, the grip is just, the thresholds on that tire is probably one of the best tires that you can race on. Those tires have amazing wear characteristics, so that's like a low on my list of worries. But I'm part of Weld Racing's R&D field team, and we're testing out the new RTS road racing rim right now. People coming by, everyone's had just rave reviews about the rim and how it looks. Bear Racing, their brakes are the best in the business. I've had the absolute best braking car. I can brake with the foremost brake cars in the world. Racing Porsches, Ferraris, and they're known for having brakes, and I can outbrake them with my Trans Am, which is just a huge statement for the quality and capabilities of the Bear brakes. CVWraps.com. They put a whole new look on the car for me, using a design by BDI, Big Daddy Incorporated. It's a Forza 3 paint shop house. They did the design in the game for me. As a matter of fact, my car is in Forza 3. You can download it and race the look of my car literally tomorrow. Coming down the front straightaway, I'm tacking out fourth gear, and the way the car's geared, that's about 160, 165, somewhere in that neighborhood, as I'm braking down through turn 1. And you're just flying through there. At turn 1 and 2, those are speed corners, but 2 is somewhat technical. 3 is, it can be technical if you're trying to pass somebody, but it's a challenging turn. It's an off-camber turn, and that makes it fun. 5 with it dropping away underneath the car, gets the car pretty light. Turn 8 is, for some cars, it's flat out. You're flat footing it. In other cars, you kind of got to lift a little. When everything's set up on my car and running great, I breathe the throttle ever so lightly, and then it's just flat out through that corner. Turns 10, 11, 12, I string those together as a section for me, and it's a technical area, and so I love going through there and just getting the car to weave through and come out of that. And then 14 is, I call that my sacrifice turn. With my car, the track drops away, so it really puts a disadvantage under braking for my car. It's a heavy car, so if I try to deep brake into that corner, I will lock the tires up. So I usually try to take a slower entry into 14, but then it's from 14 down to turn 1 through 15. I'm just throttling it up and picking up speed the rest of the way. So it's a lot of fun. The team dynamic is complete synergy. We have one of NASA's lead tech is also my crew chief, so have one of the best. He's also my fabricator, Alan Blaine of Blaine Fabrication. And RJ Reeves of Accutech is, he's a Honda guru. He's also one of my assistants in terms of mechanics and occasionally co-drives with me as well. We usually have a bunch of other people come in and help out, but synergy is the key, and fun. We like to have fun out there. Well, hopefully next year or the year after, we'll be racing in a prototype like an LMPC or GT class in the IMSA racing series. Ideally the LMPC, but everything is funding dependent, so hopefully I can pull together the sponsorship required to put a professional level program like that together. I'd like to thank as well the U.S. Touring Car Association for putting together the GT class series. This is our 3rd year running it. Having won the first 2 years of it, I'd like to win it this 3rd year. It's going to be a lot more challenging as the competition steps up, and we also get a lot more cars out there. That'll make it a hell of a lot more interesting. So I'm looking forward to a more challenging year this year, and again in 2012 even a bigger challenge. So I'm looking forward to that. I'd like to thank Thunderhill for hosting our event here, along with NASA for putting on the event.
Brandon's here. So what happened with Pete out there?
Well, we were running pretty hard, nose to tail, and Pete just lost the motor. So he had a catastrophic crank right here blow out of the block. So last night they went and, all the way to San Jose and got a motor, brought it back at midnight last night, and they've been working on it all morning, and we just can't get this thing running right. And I've been helping them, as a competitor. I've raced against Pete, and I helped him all morning to put it in the car, and we just can't get it running right. We don't have the right program, I don't think, but we're trying everything to get him going out here. So.
And that's a great part of the U.S. Touring Car. We got competitors and friends all at the same time, and these guys have been going wire to wire every race, round 1, 2, and we're going to be about to round 3 right now. But if we can get that car going, be sure they're going to be going at it hard. Thanks, Brandon.
All right, guys.
So we're here with Larry Bonney. Looks like you guys been running pretty close with the Genesis all morning long. Same with yesterday. You guys got any strategies for the last race of the weekend for U.S. Touring Car?
Pray to the rain gods so that it stays dry for the rest of the day. We've been lucky and had dry sessions all day. We've just decided to go with the dry setup, so hopefully it won't rain on us and we'll go out there and have some fun.
So we're here with Felipe with the Mazda 3. How's Thunderhill treating you so far with U.S. Touring Car?
Today it's been not bad. We've made some changes before we came here. Some of them worked, some of them didn't, but we're glad the rain held out. And it looks like it's going to hold out. Hopefully, we have like another 40 minutes to go. But AJ at Performance in Frame Tuning did a really good job, tuning the car for this weekend. American Canyon Collision Center did a pretty nice job on it as well. Ron Baltiera, team owner, he's been, busting, doing all kinds of things on it to have it ready for the weekend. And so far, it's been good. I mean, there's a lot of fast guys out there, Kraus is going pretty fast. Bovenberg was going pretty fast until his car burned down. Simmons is going really well today. There's a Firebird somewhere out there, too, that's flying. The Mitsubishi is also pretty close to us. So I think it's going to be a pretty good race. I'm expecting a nice battle with Brown. I think we're pretty similar in lap times, so it should be a lot of fun.
So we're here with Pete Bovenberg. Yesterday, him and Brandon Kraus were going at it pretty hard. I guess he bit the bullet on this one. Looks like we've got a new engine set up, maybe a K20, K24 in there. How's it feel this morning?
Well, it's a tough battle. This is a tough series and a lot of good competitors. Yesterday, Brandon and I were going back and forth, swapping positions. I held him off for a long time. Had finally got about 5 corners on him, feeling pretty good, and the motor let go, put a hole through the side of the block. So that kind of set our whole deal backwards. But we're last year's champions, and winners never quit and quitters never win, and so we just keep on going. And we brought up an engine and we put it in, and now we're just trying to work out the bugs. Yeah.
Sounds good. So we're back at Thunderhill with more action with Pete with the masterful midday engine swap. Hopefully it'll be running up in a couple hours for the half-hour enduro race.
That's right. Thank you.
So we're here with Dave Brown in the Rally Art Evo. Looks like you guys were doing a little rain dance. What's the strategy for the race today?
We're waiting to the last second here because the conditions are going every which way on us all day today. We're certainly hoping for rain. We got a big advantage there with our Mitsubishi and the all-wheel drive. And it's working pretty well. We got San Rafael Mitsubishi on with us, so we got some good parts from them. And again, we're looking for that advantage with that with a little bit of rain here. We got our dry set of tires, our rain set of tires. We're just waiting about 5 more minutes to make the call, but it's going to be a fun race either way. It stays dry. All the cars are really competitive. We'll have a lot of fun either way.
Definitely. So the two-wheel drive guys are holding out for weather, but we got Dave here looking for the rain. So we'll see how it plays out here. U.S. Touring Car at Thunderhill Raceway.
Okay, and the cars are off for round number 3 of the Nitto Tires United States Touring Car Championship. And on pole today, we have Brandon Kraus in the DW Pumps Roger Kraus Racing Honda Prelude.
In the second position, we have Curt Simmons in the Cornwell Tools, Stevens Creek Dodge, MBO Motorsports.
Then next, we have Ken Kurtz in the TPIS Pontiac Firebird in the GT class.
Fourth position is Valtiera in the TNI Racing Mazda Speed Free.
And fifth, we have Dave Brown in the Hawkworks Bridgelux Mitsubishi Lancer. We only have time to give you those because we're about ready to go green. But one important thing here is the arrival of this car.
Absolutely. Now, Pete missed qualifying. If you remember, on round 2, he blew the engine up. Missed qualifying today, and here he is.
Missed the whole entire day and night. And if you see the car smoking a little bit, we talked to them. They said they had the car running. Oh, we'll get back to that.
We'll get back to that story. Here we are at the start.
So here's the start, and it's a battle between the Prelude, and the Prelude gets a jump on the turbo of Curt Simmons.
Excellent. Although, look at Curt Simmons. It looks like he's nosing up to take that first turn.
Curt muscles his way with the boosted power of that 2.4 liter in the Dodge and takes the lead into turn 1. It's hard to pass Curt once you have Curt in front of you.
Absolutely. But I'm giving Brandon some points here. There we go. See? Look at that.
Look at that. Good. Oh, side by side. Do they hit?
He's got the inside. Nice. No, nice. Brandon takes back the lead.
And now Dave Brown is threatening. Dave Brown has gotten faster and faster every day. He gets quicker in that Bridgelux Mitsubishi.
All right, that's right. So here we are. We've got number 1 is Brandon Kraus, second is Curt, and following up in third is Dave Brown.
And an honorable mention to Larry Benny, who's also in 4th place. They're running really strong in that GoGoGear.com BMW M3. Doing really well. Looks like, too, that he's up there with the leaders.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of honorable mentions, Pete Bovenberg and his crew are amazing.
The MBM Motorsports team is pretty cool. They just never say no.
Absolutely. So, disastrous breakdown yesterday at the end of the race.
Yeah, they threw a giant hole in the block that you saw earlier. You could see through from one side of the motor to the other side.
Ran back home to the shop in San Jose, picked up another engine, brought it back, installed it, missed every single session today until today's race.
Until today, but you know what? They were fully... Whoa! Look at Dave Brown get sideways in that car. They were fully confident that we will get the car ready. Of course, I should say they really lucked out because the race today is later in the day. It's about 5 o'clock for the green flag, so they had plenty of time to fix it. And you know what? They made it. They made it in the race. They were saying that they did not have the right, mapping in the engine computer, so the car is acting up a little bit. But they don't care. They just want to drive around and collect some points.
Well, you absolutely need to. I know we mentioned this yesterday, but Pete Bovenberg, reigning champion from the 2010 series, and that's how you get to be a season champion.
Yeah, you need to have the bigger focus.
Well, you do, and you don't give up. And points is points, and regardless of where he finishes today in today's race, he's going to get points.
Yes.
And so that's what matters in the end.
Yeah, if you just given up and you were on the sidelines watching, you wouldn't be getting it. But see, now he's driving around, and you know what? He's actually not doing that bad. Let's check out his last lap was still, a pretty competitive last lap time, lap time wise. So he's doing all right. He's not as fast as was yesterday, not blazing fast, but you know what? He's doing pretty good.
He's doing pretty good, and he's out there. So a lot of kudos go out to Pete Bovenberg and the MBO crew that he has.
And not to mention that not only did he blow the motor, but the car caught on fire. Because of all the oil and the hot exhaust and everything. So to fix all that is remarkable.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty cool. But anyway, so here we are. We're still watching the show, and up front we still have the same thing here. We see Ken Kurtz in the TPIS GT class car.
And we've got Curt Simmons in the Cornwall Tools Stevens Creek Dodge MBO in
second place.
In second place.
Well, first place in the touring car class. But you know what? And then here's the two teammates. These two guys seem to be always connected to each other.
We need to talk to them. Is this team orders here? Are they always 1-2 in their positioning?
They like to be really close to each other. I think they miss each other out.
We're going to have to talk to that team before the next round.
They don't want to be near anybody. I think they want to have a class where all the cars are yellow.
That could be. I'm putting that on my list to discuss next race.
Must race against yellow cars only. That's it.
So here we are. The battle for third place is between Dave Brown and Valtierra.
Valtierra in the TNI Racing Performance and Frame Tuning Mazda Speed 3 in the blue Mazda there right behind him. These guys are fighting for third place. In front of him is Curt Simmons, and there's the leader, all by his own.
Brandon Kraus
in the Prelude. Although, you know what? The Prelude's been slowing down lately. Kurt's been catching him a little bit, so I don't know what's going on there. But those two guys, the Mazda and the Mitsubishi, they've been going at it. Brandon's definitely slowing down. Something's up. This is not a good sign here.
So Curt could be catching, and we're going to have to watch that.
This pass for second, third place. These two guys are at it, and the Mazda goes in the front, takes the lead. Now he's in second place because I just got a confirmation. Brandon's broken down with a broken gearbox.
Absolutely. So Brandon's out. We've got Curt Simmons in
first.
first.
The checkered flag.
Checkered flag.
think he wants to shower.
Nick, come on. Felipe, hurry!
We were spraying each other.
All right, well, I'm here with our third place finisher. 2 third places. I guess that's better than not finishing and watching the race from up on the hill. Driving the Gleifsgood Racing Works San Rafael Mitsubishi Lancer Rally Art 0506 champion Dave Brown. You come back to this series, couple podiums, a DNF in the first race. How'd this race go for you?
A lot better than the first one, obviously. So new car, you got to sort stuff out. So obviously we're getting it sorted out. Two days on the podium. We're real happy with that. Hawk Brakes, by the way, on board again with us this year. So we're real excited to continue to use their great products. But it was a fun race. We were praying to the rain gods there for a few minutes before the race, but it didn't happen. But we still had a good race in the drive. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, of course, Dave Brown, the reason he wanted rain, four-wheel drive in that little car. Those little cars, four-wheel drive, I think if it rains, there's nobody that can touch you as well. So you got some more development done on the car. Obviously, you had a little bit more horsepower this race. We looking for more stuff for the next race? What are your plans for the future?
Absolutely. So I think we got a few more ponies to get out of that Mitsubishi motor, and certainly we got more chassis work to do. The guys at San Rafael Mitsubishi, they treat us right. So we're taking care of them. They're taking care of us. So we'll get some good bolt-on parts from those folks, and we'll be more competitive the next time. I look to move from the left side of the stage to the right part of the stage and back in the center pretty soon.
So got a couple more steps to go for Dave Brown. We'll see if he can move it on up to that top step at the next race, around number 4 now, because we had 2 today. At round number 4, the 2011 Nitto Tire United States Touring Car Championship. All right, well, I'm here with the driver of the T&I Racing Performance In-Frame Tuning. I got it right. See, there we go. Got that right, American Canyon Collision Center. Mazda Speed 3, brand new car. They got this car built. Ron Valtierra, your teammate, drove yesterday. Got a 4th place finish. You go up to 2nd place. Tell us about your run.
It was a pretty good race. I got a bad start, but after a few laps, I settled in, a few passes, and had a really nice battle there with Dave Brown for a few laps until I got by him. But overall, the weekend's been pretty good. The cars, AJ from Performance In-Frame Tuning did a really nice job with the engine, kind of taming down the power delivery a little bit before it was a little too early. So he tuned it different. So that's good. And overall, the race was exciting, especially from where I was, to watching all the action in turn 1, the cars touching and almost crashing. So it was pretty good.
Typical touring car race. Well, I know that you had the new car at the first race of the year. You had some time off to get the car prepared. You had back-to-back races. Was your strategy kind of, yesterday was to lack back, or tell us how you finished second today?
We didn't really do anything with the car from yesterday. We played with the tow a little bit, but what we're trying to do now is basically settle the chassis down. It feels a little nervous out there, so we're going to make a bunch of changes probably for the next race, drop it a little bit, set all the alignment settings a little different, and try there. And hopefully we'll be a step higher on Infineon.
That's right. One more position. He's got to move up at Infineon Raceway at round number 4. So we'll see if he can move up there. Thank you so much, Felipe. Congratulations on that second place.
Thank you, Jeff.
Well, I'm here with our race winner, 2008 U.S. Touring Car Champion, driving the Cornwall Tool Stevens Creek Dodge SRT4, Curt Simmons. Curt, a lot of dramas out there. You had a great battle with round 1 and 2 winner Brandon Kraus, back and forth a couple times during the race, able to pull it out in the end. You got this SRT4 running great. Second place yesterday, first place today. You moved up 1. Tell us how your race went today.
It was a challenge right from the start. Just head-to-head racing the whole time. With a little body contact here and there, and it's just a good day for the Dodge. It really held up. The weather was good for us, and it made a lot of power. I thank Team MBO and Stevens Creek Dodge and Cornwall Tools for all the sponsorship help on this deal, too.
Yeah, definitely can't do it with all that help. Can't do it without a great driver as well as our 2008 champion. Coming into Infineon, round number 4. It's another track we've been at the beginning of the year. We were supposed to. We missed that. We ran Thunderhill twice. Car, not as much straightaways in Infineon as it is here. What's your strategy for the next weekend?
Well, definitely the big open track here is a help for the Dodge. In Infineon, we're going to do a little more work on the chassis, and we found a lot of things this weekend actually, and see if it works at Infineon. And if not, we'll be changing stuff at the track.
We completed round 3. We got round 2 done yesterday. That's right, a back-to-back weekend, if y'all remember that correctly. Looks like we're going to go ahead and go for our wrap-up here. I think we're all done. We can't wait to see everybody again next race.
Thanks for joining us. Tune in again next time when we'll bring you another exciting episode of Final Drive TV with the latest news from the world of cars. For more information and to view complete episodes, please visit us at finaldrive.net.